Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faith Black Lights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Heat Hot Sauce Shop, it is the Habanero white cheddar seasoning, and I stumbled across, oh boy, it's been a couple of years at least since I first stumbled across this, almost randomly, and I was like, wow, that is a really neat idea. And I think you could do a lot of really fun stuff with this depending on how salty it is. But you could, let's just say you're making some garlic bread, garlic cheese bread. So you get yourself a loaf of bread and some butter, and then you mix in the garlic powder. Maybe also you mix in a little bit of this. Bet that'd be good. I don't know. I'm assuming it would be. I probably shouldn't say until I try it, but so we have white cheddar and habanero heat. So obviously most of us look at this and we go, oh yeah, popcorn. Because they used to sell so much of this stuff back in the 80s, particularly late 70s, early 80s, when the air poppers first kind of jumped on the scene. And they sold it even though a lot of the time it wouldn't stick to the kernels. It would just fall to the bottom of the bowl. What else? Mac and cheese. I'll have to see what this tastes like. I don't know about that. Potato chips. I mean, if you're making them fresh, sure. That'd probably be good. Casseroles. I could see it. Yeah, I mean, composite stuff I think would work probably pretty fine. And I'm speaking about this generally, not about this product in particular. I am, as you can see, not yet had it. So we have organic white cheddar powder. We have organic buttermilk, salt. Oh, is that all together? Oh, it is all one. It's all one thing. So we have organic white cheddar powder, habanero powder, and ground rice hulls. And I presume those are in there so that it doesn't brick, if I had to guess. I would assume. I don't actually know, but that'd be my assumption. All right, let's see here. We should have a, yeah, we do. Got a flavor seal here. Nice and full up to the top. Okay. I'm not gonna have a spoonful of this. I don't see additional salt. Which, is there? Actually, let's see. What do we got here? Where's our sodium? How's our sodium looking? Yeah, it's pretty low. So you can see, though, here it is in the white spoon. Nice white point. It's this sort of pale white, yellowish, maybe almost a, yeah, almost a very light orange almost. Let's see if we can get it a little bit thinner there. Just all wants to, there. Oh, it's very silky. It's very fine. Very fine. So the rice hulls might just be a texture thing, but this actually is probably still more than I want to have. Here we go. Let's start with that and see how that goes. We'll give this a whack. Ooh, it's got a little punch to it. Oh, this is bizarre. I don't know what to make of this flavor. It's very powdery, but it's not, and I say that like dusty. It's not grainy powdery. A habanero kind of creeps. That's interesting. I'll give this a 1 for heat so far. We're calling it 3.5. Pretty generous, I would not say that. I am resisting the impulse to sneeze. Okay, so definitely I had to do it on popcorn. Here you can see a nice greasy bag of microwave popcorn. This is Cousin Willie's. And I'll tell you a little something about that man. That man, he got his buttery explosion all over my popcorn. And then he boxed it and sold it. All right, so I think what we're gonna do, I got the biggest bowl I can find, but I don't wanna, what I don't wanna do is, I don't know how this is, I don't know how this is gonna stick to stuff. So what we're gonna do, so let's just do this, okay? We'll just do this. And try to toss it around a little bit with the spoon and try not to inhale it. Good Lord. Super dusty, I'm afraid. Maybe we should, I could, here, maybe I'll do this. Well, I don't know what okay, I think this is going to work better. I was going to put it in the bag and then shake up the bag, but I don't think that's going to work. All right, Cousin Willie. You and your buttery explosion all over my popcorn. Get out of my face, bro. Get out of my face, bro. Okay. Do it up a little bit. Can always add more. Ooh. This is what I was afraid of. The biggest bowl I could find. That's glass. Because I like to be able to, have you guys watch while I mean, there's no point in going to a video if you can't see stuff, right? I mean, what's the point? Like I said, it is very powdery. All right, let's see how this is. Still powdery. What I was wondering about being a salt before is that's how they mostly used to come back in the 80s. It'd be like a cheese salt. Oh boy, making me sneeze. I'm getting a little bit of the cheddar now. We're going to hit it again here as soon as I make some more room. Starting to get a little bit of a heat bill, but oh man, I'm going to have to sneeze again. All right, maybe not. I still feel it tickling my nose. I'm gonna add some more. Try to keep it over here though. I run into that with challenge products sometimes too. When they use a lot of powders and stuff, it gets aerosolized, and it's one of the reasons I like coarse ground pepper more than I like fine ground pepper. Is coarse ground pepper is very difficult to inhale. Fine ground pepper, however, there's a lot of cartoons, the old Merry Melodies and stuff, where they would give pepper powder to somebody to make them sneeze. Oh, okay. Well, with any luck, that'll be the end of that. I was going to tell you the story of this stuff, and I thought I've never seen anyone do a product like this. I hadn't even seen a product like this. And you know, I've done a lot of products nobody else has ever done. They have another cheese actually in this line as well. I probably will get that one at some point also. This is a really cool idea. Anyway, though, as soon as I saw it, after that is when I discovered there's a wish list function. I've done a bunch of other stuff from them. But this is kind of what kicked it off. So, shit. Got all over my hands, all over the table. Oh no, I just blasted a bunch into the air too. Shit. Shit. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm trying to get some more density of the cheddar flavor because I think at this point, the habaneros are much more forward in the flavor than the habanero powder is much more prominent than I would have thought. I would have thought it'd be a lot of cheese and very little of the habanero. It is, the habanero is just way more forward than I thought it would be. All right. Oh, let's go for another. Blow the pipes out. I'm gonna chuck through a fair amount of this anyway. All right. I have to sneeze again. Usually I take all this stuff out. I'm going to leave it in here. Just so you can know, if you get this to be, maybe wear a mask. It is extremely fine powder. Not the kind of powder I would want to snort. All right. I am going to make that garlic bread I talked about with this, though. I think that's going to be super good. I am, to be fair, starting to get more and more of the cheddar cheese. I really thought it'd just be just a lot more forward though. I might try this in mac and cheese. At least there's enough liquid to not have it dusty, hopefully. Potato chips, probably not. Casseroles, though, could be good. It just adds a nice little light touch of heat. Here's his 3.5. I'm calling it 1. Well, we'll see. 1 right now. Big story is me trying not to sneeze. There was one of the time challenges, the C3 for blazing. There's a sneezing fit in the middle of that too. And you can't restart the timers. The challenges don't give a shit if you're sneezing or not. It doesn't say in the rules, here's all you have to do this, unless you have a sneezing fit. Starting to settle in now. I think it's picking up some of the butter. It very definitely is a legit one. No doubt about that. Just like those 80s popcorn, it's starting to get dustier towards the bottom. I'm going to start hitting more of the powder here. You ever get tired of having to fight off a sneeze? Put a white point here for you so you can see when we get close to the end. Actually, you know what? We're getting down far enough where I got to start worrying about the old maids. Let's, there's quite a bit of powder. This is interesting. Look at the powder that's on the bottom. It's all, I'll show you. Look, it's all this darker brown stuff. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let me get some more popcorn out of here. It's like the cheddar. What is going on? I don't understand this at all. I want to show you this though. Preferably without having another sneezing fit. I don't know if you can see this, but you see the, yeah, you can see it right there. You see that it's all like, not this color, it's all brown. Let's see here. Here's more of it. That's weird. So the popcorn picked up the cheese, or maybe it's just not. It can't be not showing up. That is, I don't know what to make of that. Well, let's finish this off. Yeah, definitely. This is a good amount of cheese to it now. So the habanero powder, if I had to guess, is giving this the color. Uh-oh. Yeah. I really thought nice greasy popcorn would win the day. And it is to an extent, but damn it. Oh man, come on. So tired of sneezing. Okay. Anyway, if I get something whipped up, for that garlic cheese bread using this, I might be a video I do this winter. We'll see. I do want to do it. I can see this working really well too. Unlike casserole, just under the final layer of cheese. I wonder what cooking. It'd be interesting to cook some ground beef with this. I wonder what that would do. Lots of things to play with. Okay. 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 Got one last sneeze here for the road. Or are we set? Nope. All right. All right. Sneezes, huh? Sneezes, huh? Sneezes, huh? Okay, well, so let me back up. The heat level is fine. It's a good, ready, steady, solid one. It's, I think, pretty generally appropriate where you'd want it. You'd want it to be a lot hotter than it is. If you eat more of it, you might be able to push it slightly past a 1. I mean, a 1 for me. I think a lot of people might find this really challenging, though. It is definitely hotter than they would be expecting, I would think, for the most part. But also, the very dusty nature of this. I mean, you've just seen however many minutes this video is of me slugging through it, but you know that could put people off wanting to consume it if they're constantly dealing with sneezing fits trying to do that. I would have preferred to be much more forceful in terms of the cheese flavor. I was actually kind of surprised to see the balance they went with here. But I mean, it's quite good, and you can get a lot of, like on the popcorn, it started to get pretty concentrated towards the cheddar towards the end, but it's not a dense cheddar flavor on the popcorn. You know, we just started with just a regular butter here, just a cheap bag of microwave popcorn that's butter flavored. So there wasn't a whole lot it was fighting against, and it did start to resolve itself towards the end. Part of it you could say is definitely maybe a coating issue, but if you're talking about having to go get like a cookie sheet and spreading a whole bag of popcorn across it so you can coat it evenly, which you probably would reasonably have to do, that's a lot of work. So I find this really interesting. I think I am not going to use it on popcorn again, though. That was too much of a struggle. Way too much of a struggle. I am going to use it in some cooking stuff, though. I think it's going to be super interesting in cooking stuff. If it was more so with, if it was more cheese forward, I probably would consider it on popcorn again. But the cheese dust is not the thing that's making me sneeze. That definitely is habanero powder irritating the nasal lining there. Potato chips, like I said, if they're fresh and you can have just that little bit of grease left on them and then hit them with this, I think that would be pretty good. I don't ever cook potato chips like that, and getting commercial ones, by the time they're processed and usually seasoned with salt or whatever, by the time you get them in the bag, I don't know how well it's going to work with this. If I eat potato chips, I would probably try it. I don't really eat potato chips though. Unless, if you see them in a video, I'm eating them for that video. I don't eat them as a rule outside of that. So it's a really interesting product. It definitely is kind of its own thing. I was expecting it to be more of like a cheese salt, like I was saying before. It definitely is not that. It is very, very dusty, very almost like soft powder, like a powdered sugar consistency almost. And you get a good sense of the habaneros, and you get a good sense of the cheddar, but it takes a while for the cheddar to build. So I think it's pretty interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to playing with this some more. And like, this is a fun thing that's out there, quite unique. So we'll see where it fits best, and who knows, could show up in some future cooking videos. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. But we're gonna leave it right there. It's a product I was staring at for a while, and now that I have it in hand, it wasn't quite what I thought it was. But I do think there's a lot of possibilities here that I'm pretty excited about, and we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Heat Hot Sauce Shop. What are we calling this? Habanero white cheddar seasoning. Now go forward in peace to serve the flame.